Come here. Can you get up? Up, up. Come on. Come here. Up, up. Show them what you did. Oops. Hey, it's Annika here with Sniffdog. Are you worried your neighbors are going to complain about your always barking dog? Are you so over your dog ruining your quiet night in by startling you and barking at any noise that happens around your house? I'm here today to give you 3 tangible tips to make sure that your dog stops barking in the home once and for all. At Sniffdog, we're here to teach you how to speak dog. If you can have a better understanding of your dog, you can have a relationship built off trust and fun. We want to come on this wonderful journey of pet ownership with you to help empower the love and connection between you and your pup. Having a dog that barks in your home at noises outside of your home or people passing your house is an unnecessary stress that you don't have to deal with. It's also super annoying. With today's tips, I hope that you have a plan moving forward so you know exactly what to do and not to do to make sure that your dog stops barking. Real quick before we get into today's tips, I want to give a shout out to our biggest fan, Larry. Larry was featured in our first video. Golden Larry David, thank you so much for your support. Please go ahead and give them some likes and love on Instagram. If you want to be a featured pet on our videos on YouTube, make sure that you give us a like, leave comments, tell us what you want to learn more about, and you might be featured next. And as always, do not forget to download the training tip sheet that we make just for you with every video. I'm drinking wine tonight, so please don't forget to watch the bloopers. It's going to get interesting. What you're gonna need for today's video is a dog bed, dog treats, and maybe some wine. Today's 3 training tips are: tip number 1, manage your dog's exposure to triggers that cause barking in your home. Tip number 2, train, go to your bed, and stay. And tip number 3, do the 3-strike timeout protocol for non-anxious dogs. As always, it's important to understand why your dog is doing a behavior that you don't like in the first place. In the case of barking, most dogs are bred just for that. They're bred to guard the house. And so a lot of dogs alert bark to their owners to say, hello, there's somebody passing the house, there's somebody approaching the house, or there's noises happening outside that I'm not comfortable with. So all in all, a dog barking at exterior noises outside your house is just being a dog. However, it can be very frustrating behavior to deal with. It can also be a symptom of fear or anxiety in your dog, feeling like there's something scary coming into their house all the time. So it can be a quick fix if your dog is just boredom barking or alert barking, because we can manage that for them. However, if your dog is anxious, you might need the help of a trainer, because all of these suggestions will not work for dogs that are anxious or very fearful. This is my favorite part to explain to people. It's this thing called mailman syndrome. It basically means if your dog is a window watcher or listening to sounds in the hallway of your apartment building and they bark, whether they see or hear something, and then that noise or that person or thing is gone after they bark, they think, aha, I did it again. I made the scary thing leave. Woo-hoo! And they're actually proud of themselves. It's very reinforcing for them to bark at something and then witness its departure. They literally think they're making the people leave your house or walk away from your house when they're just people passing by. So here you are getting pissed off at them for doing, first, often what they're bred to do, second, a totally normal dog behavior, and third, you're getting mad at them when they think they're doing a really good job at protecting the house. Which brings us to tip number 1. Tip number 1 is to manage your dog's exposure to triggers that cause barking in your home. What I mean by that is, do not facilitate window watching. Take away their opportunity to sit on couches and perch out windows. If you live in an apartment building, you want to eliminate your dog's opportunity to sit at the front door waiting for people to pass in the hallway for them to bark at. So sometimes a baby gate can help apartment dogs not have access to the front door in the first place. For chronic window watching dogs, sometimes that means you have to literally move your furniture so that they can't stare out windows. An easier option might be to close the blinds as much as possible. Sorry, I know that's a pain in the ass. Sometimes blacking out the bottom half of windows if you have a long window right near the door so that they stop seeing shadows passing. Another key tip is to make sure your dog is getting enough mental stimulation throughout the day. If you have a very intelligent or bright dog that gets easily bored, Window watching becomes a very fun game for them to play. They literally wait for something to show up. They bark, 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 the thing goes away. It's like playing a video game for them. So you want to give them interactive feeding toys or puzzle dispensing toys or bones or bully sticks to entertain them instead of allowing them to rely on the exterior world to give them some stimulation. For dogs that live in houses, a common trigger that happens every single day, lucky you, is when the mailman or mailwoman comes to your door. Your dog has one time every day where they are guaranteed to make this thing go away after barking. So to eliminate your dog learning that barking is making the mail person leave, it might be in your best interest to remove the mail slot from your door altogether. You can do things like put a sign on the door that says, please drop the mail, instead of putting it in any kind of slotted area. You can leave a sign on the door that says, please leave the mail at the end of the walkway. You can move your mailbox to the beginning of your walkway instead of allowing them to come all the way up onto your door and onto the property where your dog rehearses every single day, making the mail person go away. Now, if you're watching this video thinking, I hope Annika starts talking about what to do when my dog barks at guests, that's a different video. It's coming in hot in a couple of weeks, so hang in there. This is more related to dogs barking at things around the home versus things in the home. Which brings us to tip number 2. If we don't like that our dog is barking, we have to tell them what we want them to do instead of barking. It's in their instinct to bark, so this is difficult for them to unlearn. Oftentimes we need to move them away from window areas or doorway areas when they are barking to stop the habit in the first place. So training the skill, go to your bed, stay, is 100% in your best interest if you have a pretty barky dog inside. Now, if we're gonna ask them to go to their bed and stay on their bed away from windows and away from doorways, whether before they've started barking or after, they have to know that skill through and through very, very well in order to be able to respond to it when they're triggered by something. So in part 2 of this video, you are going to see how to train go to your bed and stay to help with barking dogs. And tip number 3 is to do the 3-strike timeout protocol for non-anxious dogs. Most dogs think they're doing a really good job at protecting the house when they're barking. So we are going to make it their new job to go to their bed and stay when we ask them to, instead of continuing to bark. The moment your dog starts barking at something outside of the home, it's in your best interest to do strike 1. Clap, 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 or hey, or go up to them and catch their attention kindly, and then redirect them to go to their bed and lie down and stay. Go to your place. Now, staying on their bed when they're triggered by something will be very difficult for them, and it's not likely to actually work for you. Which takes us to strike 2. If they continue barking on their bed and you cannot get them on the bed, it's very important that you tell them, last chance, and then redirect them again to the bed. Last chance, go to your place. You're trying to convince them, stop barking over there and come do this instead. Because this behavior of going to the bed about 5-10 times a day causes them treats, so they might be very willing to switch from protection mode to go to bed mode if you're practicing go to bed enough. Now you've done strike 1, you redirected to the bed. You've done strike 2, you interrupted, told them last chance and redirected them to the bed, and they still didn't listen. Well, that's okay. They're having a hard time letting go the trigger around the house, and that will happen to a lot of your dogs many times over. It brings you to strike 3. You're gonna say time out and then remove your dog gently and kindly, but with confidence, into isolation in their most comfortable place. Time out. Whether that's a bedroom, a pen, a crate, somewhere that they are comfortable and not scared. And if you are gonna use a place that they currently find to be a comforting place like the crate, you wanna make sure to feed 1 meal a day in the crate so that using it as a timeout every now and again isn't causing you any negative associations of the crate. Once they're calm and quiet in the timeout area for about 1 to 5 minutes, you're welcome to bring them out and see if they can try again. If they bark within the next few minutes, you might want to go right to strike 3 right away, because it's very likely they're not finished being hyper aware of that trigger that they just had a reaction to. So the longer the timeout, the more likely they are to come out calm. I will add, please do not do timeouts in isolation with dogs that have separation anxiety or isolation anxiety, or dogs that you know are very distressed when they're separated from you in small spaces, that it's not going to help them to do these timeouts. And if you're in that situation, you need to ask for help from a professional positive reinforcement dog trainer. All right, that brings us to things to avoid. Avoid using gimmicks or quick fix correction devices to suppress barking in your home. Remember, barking is instinctive, but it's also a symptom of something, whether that's discomfort, fear and anxiety, etc. So if you are going to punish your dog heavily for barking, whether that's with a citronella spray, a penny can, using firm verbal corrections, doing any kind of sting or collar correcting, your dog's not figuring out what you do want them to do when they're triggered by something. So it's very unfair to use any correction devices, especially any noise devices. There's silent sprays that are promising you that your dog will stop barking if you start spraying this silent, really uncomfortable noise for your dog to hear. All of these things that you use are going to make your dog think when people pass their house, something painful or uncomfortable or scary happens to them. And that puts them at very high risk of becoming more reactive, more barky, and even can create aggression issues. So no gimmicks, quick fixes, or anything that causes pain or discomfort for your dog to stop barking. I promise you it will cause you very long-lasting problems. And with that being said, have patience. It takes a long time to unwire your dog's natural inclination to bark at things outside their home. And remember, if these don't work, these methods don't help you, there probably is a bigger underlying cause to your dog's reactivity and barking in the home. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Don't tell me this doesn't work if you only try it 5 times. This might take you weeks and weeks and weeks of line and the 3-strike timeout protocol. So be patient. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you found today's tips helpful and tangible. Please make sure to watch video number 2 where I show you how to train Go to Your Bed and Stay with Dear Cedar. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Press the notify button so you find out when our next video comes out. Like, comment, and tell your friends about Sniffdog. Remember, we're new here. We super appreciate all of your support. If you're watching from Facebook, like, share, tell us in the comments what you want to learn more about. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. I promise you there's lots of extra little tips that happen there as well. And lastly, don't forget to download the training tip sheet. I made it for you. It's got all the steps so everyone in your family knows exactly what to do when your dog starts barking in your home. I'll see you for video number 2. Are you worried your neighbors are gonna come? Oh no, we're off to an awful start.
Show them what you do.
My back is always so sore during these. This is horrible. We need wine. We need lots. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make a video.